Hi there, hope you are doing great. Earlier in my music production years I used Reason a lot to produce tracks, and I still have a license, and today actually I'm going to try to remix one of my Reason tracks and try to make it sound as good as possible sound-wise, and I'm going to do this in Reason. I made this track, I think it's over 5 years ago, and since then my mixing knowledge has increased, and I want to try to apply that knowledge to this track, because this is, I think the track is a little bit cheesy, but it's actually one of my recent made tracks that are most popular, if you will. And yeah, when the mixing process is done, I think we can do an A/B at the end of this video, listen to the original version first and then the finished mixed versions after that, and see if we can hear any difference. I'm basically going to probably EQ things, maybe compress, and will try to not add new instruments and things like that, but maybe I will do that. The end goal at least is to make the track sound better than it is today and make it ready for upload to some stock music libraries. So let's turn to the computer, turn on the Reason and get to work. So yeah, here is a Reason loaded up with the track, and you have all of the devices here on the top, and there are some third-party synthesizers like Antidote. I think the bass line is being played by Predator here, and I thought we could take a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and just click around a little bit here and you can listen how it sounds now. So this is basically how it sounds, and I don't really think that this sounds that bad mixing wise. So it's when you start to remake your old tracks, it's very easy to destroy them. There was a reason I did what I did here. I don't want to do too many changes, because this is a track people have said to me that they like for some reason. If you change it too much, even if the mixing decisions here maybe are wrong, there's a reason people like the track. So if I mix this according to the way you should do it, you kind of can lose the feel of the track, even if it's kind of wrong. So I don't know how I can explain it in a better way, but at least be careful when we do things here. So I'm not going to do that much. I think I'm actually going to do as little as possible and try to keep the old vibe here, but still just some tiny things. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. So I want to just move the tracks up here, so the kick can be on the top, the bass line can also be here on the top, like so. Then we have the transpluck here. I think we have some effects here, like hats. Yeah, we can move those to the top there. Sidechain, I don't really remember how we sidechained in Reason. Let's see if we can do something about that. So I like to begin in the part here where everything is happening at once. Master chain here is disabled, so I don't have these plugins activated. So let's go to the synthesizers here, let's go to transpluck. It's being played by Antidote. So we have an EQ here. So remove that one, and let's add an EQ from FabFilter here. So as we can see here, it's inputting the audio into the EQ a little bit too hot here. So it's plus 4 dB. So let's reduce the output volume on the synthesizer a little bit, maybe down to 40. Well, let's try that, see how that works. Okay. Yeah, well, maybe a little bit more. Okay, I think that's okay. And then let's increase the volume on the mixer here. Okay, so what I did now was actually reduce the volume on the synthesizer so that it doesn't clip when it goes into other plugins. And the way I saw that was that the input volume here on the EQ was above 0 dB. So now we can have some signal to play with. So there's actually not that many instruments in this track, so I don't want to overdo the EQ here, and I don't really think that it overtakes the low end that much. Because I think it's already maybe done that in the synthesizer here in the patch, maybe somewhere. Maybe there's an EQ here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's play it with the bass here. No, I don't want to EQ. I want to maybe increase the low end on this one. Let's see if we can add a saturator on it here. Let's go to Saturn 2. Again, we have to be careful. Let's see how it plays along with the bass here. Okay, I think that's okay. And then we have this thing under here. This is also kind of a lead sound, arpeggiated sound here. But I think I want it to be a little bit more attack on it. Let's see if I can do that somewhere here. Maybe something like this. Let's see. I think we need it there. We can't do too many adjustments to the original here. But I think we can increase. Let's take a look here. So I think I want to increase the high end a little bit on it and remove some of the low end. There's really not that much low end on it, but we can. Something like this. And increase the high end. Maybe that's too much. Maybe we should have some of the low end here. Something like that. Let's see. Okay, I think that's pretty okay, and we can take a look at the piano things here. I think we need to brighten up the high end a little bit on the piano. I'm not sure if we're going to use an EQ or a saturator with a increased high end there. Let's try a saturator. See how that works. Magic. Something like that, and let's go to clean tape or saturation. That's a little bit more in the high end, but not too much maybe. And let's add a EQ and do some low end. Let's take a look at the other piano thing here. Yeah, I think actually we can leave that. Maybe increase the volume a little bit. Or no, just leave it. Let's take a look at the strings here. So I'm using the included EQ here. Let's see if we can increase the high end a little bit here. Something like that. And I can see that the compressor actually isn't really doing anything here. You can just take it off. Okay, so increase the high end a little bit on the strings. Maybe remove some more on the low end. Or let's see. I think that's okay. No, maybe that's actually too much again. If you listen to everything together, it really is not that. So I don't think I should increase the EQ here actually. Let's go to the loops here. I'm just going to do some basic things I use here. I think I'm going to, let's see, take off the low end on them. I guess we could do more here, but I don't really want to do that. I have so what have I done? Well, I have done some changes here on the synthesizer, the trans pluck here. I added some saturation and I did not really do that much EQing. Maybe take off from 50 here, but that's basically it. And I actually increased the low end on it using Saturn. Using Saturn as an EQ and saturator at the same time. Okay, and really not that much, changing a little bit on the envelopes on the lead here. Make it a little bit more attacky, but just a tiny bit. FX, not really done that much. Guess it could be there. On the piano here, yeah, increasing the high end a little bit. Again, using Fab Filter as a kind of combined EQ. Something like that. So we can just take a look at the master section here. I'm going to remove everything from Reason here. Just delete everything here. And delete and turn off the bypass. So we can go to this part. Usually I have a plugin where I kind of widen the stereo image just a little bit, and that I use the utility device in Ableton Live, but we don't have that here in, or I don't know what device it is. So we can use something from Infected Mushroom, and they have a widening plugin, and it's actually free. A tiny bit of widening. Again, we don't want to destroy the... And then I want to add some multiband compression from FabFilter. I often use that, and I just use the preset that I think sounds good, and it's under mastering. Punch one of these. So I'm just going to cycle through some of them. Then we can use another plugin. I try to use it sparingly. It's a Waves plugin, and I don't really have that many Waves plugins because I don't like their licensing agreements or the way they install. But it's this one knob plugin. It's called Mix Centric. It's kind of an all-in-one thing. I think there's an EQ there, there's a compressor there, maybe a saturator and things like that. And actually, when I'm talking about saturation, I'm going to add a saturation plugin from FabFilter here after, or actually on here. And here I want to use clean or default. Here I use saturation, and I think I have tape and subtle tape. Let's just crank this up to 100%, and I don't think you can hear that much difference. But it somehow sounds a little bit nicer. Not that one. Maybe try that one. No, subtle tape, max, or 50. Okay, now we can go to the mix centric here. So what you want to do is you want to have this light blinking yellow. So you have to increase the volume on the input side here. And you have to decrease the volume on the output side by the same amount. And you can then you can use the knob here and increase it until you think it sounds okay. Okay, so let's bypass it. A little bit clearer, but not too much. I think we can dial it back a little bit actually. And then last, we add the FabFilter limiter, like so. Increase the volume. Let's set this one to that value. So that was a few changes to the mix, and as you noticed, I didn't do maybe that much. I still keep some of the original plugins here, and I just want to keep the effects and things just like they are, so we don't do too much. And maybe I will try to do something with the bass here. Want to maybe try to see if we can do something with it. Maybe make it a little bit more. Disable the limiter for now. Let's solo the bass. See if we can do something with it without doing too much. So I think we can have the high end here, don't you think? Can we increase the, let's just remove the built-in plugins. Yeah, I know, I love the saturator from FabFilter, sorry, but I just like to use it. I think it works. Brutal compressor. Okay, so this gives it actually some more low end. You can see that the band 1 here is also increased a little bit. Take off the reverb a little bit. So reverb on bass is kind of a no thing, but it's on this track, and just reduce it just a little bit. It's a reason it's there. Yeah, but I think this is actually pretty good. Should we try that on this bass as well? Yeah, let's do that. And I already forgot what the preset I used was. It was Brutal Compressor. Okay, Brutal Compressor. Yeah, it sounds better, in my opinion, because it increases the volume of the low end a little bit. So maybe we can, yeah, let's see. So as I said, I had a sidechain track here. I don't remember how I used it, so just delete track and device. Like so, and I think we can add a LFO tool effects. Come on, extra LFO tool, so we get some kind of sidechaining going on here. Something like that. Yeah, I think that's the basic part done. What I have to do now is actually remove my headset, turn on my speakers and try to mix it in my speakers, see if it sounds as good as possible there as well. But I think we have done a few things here that makes it sound better without destroying everything I did before. Okay, I want to do one last thing here. I want to increase the high end a little bit on this transpluck. Something like that. So here is the original track. Let's play this track back. After that, let's play this newly mixed version and see if you think it sounds a little bit better. Here we go. So that was the original version, and here is the version we made in this video. So that was the A-B comparison. Small adjustments can go a long way. There's a lot of tracks, and just small adjustments to each and every track will in some hopefully make the sound a little bit better. But again, when I released this track a few years ago, it was pretty well received, and of course I think there's a reason for it. The reason could very well be a bad mixing decision that kind of makes people feel that the track sounds good anyway. When you go back and try to make your older tracks better, especially if it was well received, I think you should approach that very carefully, because it's very easy to, let's say you want to remove some of the low end on on the synthesizers, yeah, because that's kind of what you usually do when you mix new tracks. In that older track, there was a reason you had this low end, and that kind of have to be there. So I tried to keep the old school feel of this track and just make some minor adjustments just to bring it just a little bit more up there, and I think I was able to achieve that. I'm not finished with this mix. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn on my speakers and do some volume adjustments and see how it sounds in the speakers. I've had the headset on when I recorded the video, and it's probably I have to do some minor volume adjustments in addition to that. But other than that, I think the track is ready for 2021. And I hope you like this video. If you do, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and yeah, talk to you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.